You're listening to the City Podcast. Unadulterated, non-politically correct, unfiltered, real talk. The City from the inside out. With your hosts, Chad Cranston and Steve Mealing.
Welcome to the City Podcast. My name is Chad Cranston.
And I am Chad Cranston. Chad G.
Wait,
Cranston.
sorry, I'm Steve Mealing.
Yeah, and I am Chad G. Cranston.
We have a special guest this week. Chad actually came up through the ranks with him.
Bang, bang, bang,
It
bang.
took me a long time to get this guy on the show. It took me about almost a year.
Yeah.
Hey,
been working.
we don't ask too many times. We ask once, right?
Sometimes
our
we don't
policy.
even ask. We just go,
Fuck it.
oh, sorry.
But but we have George Sully.
Yeah.
Sully, what's your last name?
Sully Pamphile.
Pamphile?
George Sully Pamphile.
And you
And
guys are from Ottawa?
I'm from Ottawa. My family Haitian.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, I am from Ottawa. So people from Ottawa know me as George Sully Pamphile. But see, I say Pamphile, but I don't like Pamphile because c'est Pamphile. Parce que moi, c'est un Haïtien.
qu'est-ce que
Haïtien parle créole. So it's kind of like when I moved to Toronto, funny enough, I don't want to get ahead of the story, but moving to Toronto, I got connected with a PR agency, a young PR agency. Susan J, if you're still out there, what up? And basically, I'm sitting in there, and she's asked me basically, what's your name? I'm like, yo, George Pamphile, But I said obviously with my Haitian Ottawa swagger, George Pamphile. And she's just like, what? The pamper? She says, you have a middle name? I said, yeah, my middle name's Sully. She's like, Sully. It's like one of those Hollywood, like in Hollywood. Yeah, Sully. We'll go with Sully. Yeah. I like Sully. Yeah. And because it was English, and obviously in Toronto, it's pure Anglophone, and there's no anything Francophone, anything. Let alone there's no Haitians anywhere in Toronto. Just now, but listen, I tried to dig for them. Don't worry about it. I'm ahead of you.
If they're Haitian, George knows them.
Absolutely. I've dug. I've tried.
Yell in the voice.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. So George Sully, and Sully is my grandfather. My mom named me my middle name after my grandfather, Papa Sully. Papa Sully. Yeah, that was a grand pimp. And it's so funny because my mom always said, you get your kind of like etiquette through, the God, through her father, because he ironed everything. He was always tight in a suit. Proper. He was always proper. He was tight. And like when I was growing up, it's funny because like, I just had that about me. Like I always ironed my shit. I always kept my socks. Everything was always organized and thing. My mom's always like, yo, you get that off your my dad, my granddad. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, man. I'll keep it. I saw pictures of him with his slick, his slick outfits. And, you can imagine, especially from a poor man, that he went out of his way to keep his shit tight because they had nothing. He appreciated everything. So all his suits and everything, even if he had a few, only a couple, they were tight and right. So absolutely.
I did a thing on that. I'm trying to remember the name.
Suits, not suits, but the guys in Africa?
Yeah.
The African guys?
They have no money whatsoever, but got suits. Some hold on, I'll dig it up while you guys.
It's a pride thing, you know what I mean? Like black people, you know what I mean, like to, even though you don't got it, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you don't got it, you still gotta have it. You gotta just keep it fresh, keep it tight and right. You never know when the opportunity lends itself to show it off. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you remember
they call them Congo Daddies.
The Congo Daddies. Yeah. You remember in I think it's 2003 or 4.
Oh, the good old
days. We were in Miami.
Oh.
And we were in that hotel room and we watched the very first bomb drop on Iraq. Do you remember that?
Oh. It was like New Year's or something.
No, it was in summer. Maybe.
Oh, wait, no, hold on.
February.
I was at a
winter music
party
conference
at my house.
Yeah.
So we were having a party for something, so it would make sense.
Winter music conference. Yeah. So it was that afternoon.
I found some old footage of us winter music conference. Me and you were filming on the streets and we were picking up chicks in Miami. And on some camcorder shit. I have it. It's on DAT. It's not on DAT, but like those little mini DV. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Long time.
I'll be like, what's this?
Yeah. And I saw, Rich Sneaks still trying to do the Rito Rich Sneaks. That's our homie, And you see him in the cut. Shout out to Rich Sneaks. He was in the cut. You know what I mean? Yeah. Delfino was in the cut. All these classic dudes.
Which means nothing to anybody
No,
else.
absolutely not.
Just so you guys know.
Absolutely.
So what? The
Just
reason,
pretend I'm somebody else. I'm just like, is that the best story you got?
the reason why I brought it up. The reason why I brought it up.
Hold on. First rule: no French on the podcast.
Okay, no French.
The reason why I brought it up because that's at that time we had just discovered that we were going to do a magazine, so we're just fucking shopping around and seeing what's best about any city in North America, see what we can fucking do. But George told me one thing, and I'm getting totally off topic with this. George told me one thing that day. He's like, when that bomb dropped, he told me, "Welcome to the Holy War, Canada." And he goes, "What do you mean by that?" He goes, "Guy, they're going up the CN Tower. They're going to hit us in spots that we've never been fucking hit before, and we better be prepared for this." It's 2018, and everything is coming into fruition right fucking now. What happened in Danforth, people can call it crazy or whatever have you, whatever you want to say it, whatever you want to say.
There are ties to what you're talking about. It's starting to come out, but it's been buried in the news.
Right?
It's
and
coming
so
out.
I don't want to get too political, so I'm not going to get too political, but it's very interesting to see how the media portrays certain things back then compared to what it is now, because back then it was very obvious. And they said it, everybody said this is what's going to fucking happen in our world. So we have to be very cautious about how we approach things and be very aware as a community of how we approach things as well too, right? So, magazine, I'll leave that alone. All I want to say is for the Danforth people that got hit up in Danforth, our praises and our wishes are with you guys.
100%.
Absolutely.
So, video, back to DJing and all that kind of stuff, because it all comes around to what you were doing back in the day with DJing and how we started off, because we were DJing back in the days. We didn't really know where we wanted to go, but we were at the Winter Music Conference.
Because that's where
seeing
you
a
went.
lot of
Yeah, man.
I stopped going around then because it got way too...
2002, 3, 4?
2003, I think was the last year I went. 2002 or 3.
Oh, shit.
Serves me. So, but it was just going in a direction I wasn't interested in. Because the whole reason when we started going down there was in 98, 97, 98, 99. It's obviously completely different. It grows, and it's always for the better. You would assume.
Sure.
People are making more money.
That's what
it
it is.
Do well.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
There's a lot of unreasonable things following.
Yeah.
And the parties used to be for the promoters from all over North America and from Europe, and the agents that represented the European talent that came in. And everybody was showing off, you go around the pool and you get records, you trade records with guys.
I mean, that was still going on. It was still going on, but it was a tail end, I guess.
The parties used to be about, people going out to hear the new music and supporting the DJs they knew. So everybody was industry to a degree, except for once or twice removed. And then flash forward a few years later, all of a sudden, promoters couldn't even get into the parties because whoever was putting the parties on was really looking to cash out. There's lineups around the block. And it kind of flipped itself on its head.
So you're saying Defected was looking to cash out?
Everybody's always looking to cash out. It's a business, right? But what happens is, for example, we've done a few parties in Miami. And you want to work with somebody within the area as well. It's down there. Get you your venue. Promotions, they obviously do ahead of time and everything like that. But other people's interests are always involved, right? So it's just like if you're traveling, you know what I mean? You're hosted as well as trying to host when people are showing up. And then stuff happens. Just like if you do a party in a club in Toronto, even though it's your home turf, you use the club all the time. There's back doors, there's side dealings. Stuff happens, right? And pre-sales happen and sales are expected to be at X amount, but they're far higher. So people prey on the chaos and being able to handle the chaos.
Absolutely.
Right? So obviously people are going to try and make money and people should cash out. You know what I mean?
But then it becomes a
then
commercialized party
more
because
a touristy kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? So you had people saving up.
Well, I know
to go
that.
to Miami,
Right? Because I remember we went there. We went on. We had missions. We got records.
Yeah.
We got to listen to Masters at Work. You know what I mean? And Frankie Feliciano, all these crazy, great,
DJs.
soulful house DJs, and so on and so forth. So
they
if
always
you,
had the epic parties.
oh
too.
my
Masters at
God,
Work.
I'm telling you, Nikki B. Oh man, right?
They're the best. Lazy Boy, Lazy Dog. No, not Lazy Boy. Lazy Dog. Those
Lazy
parties.
Dog Records?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Everything But the Girl?
Ben Watt.
Ben Watt.
Yeah. And G. I can't think of it.
Yeah, that was the deeper stuff. You guys that
the
was
deeper
the sound
stuff,
you were
yeah,
DJing
man.
back then?
Yeah.
So how did you guys get into that kind of music?
Yo, it's just
From Ottawa, right?
Ottawa,
That's
of
kinda
course. Yo, we could take it back
true.
to Mercury Lounge. Oh man, beautiful Mercury Labs. So it's kind of like, you know, you'd go there, even at the beginning of the night, you know what I mean? And, you know, you could just, the music would play, that red room, and you just kind of just get it out. You're able to get it out.
Yeah.
Just
So
kind of
is
like.
that how you guys met? Was through music?
Actually, yeah, from years back before that.
Oh yeah, dude. That's hilarious.
Chad was
Okay.
AKA.
Hold on. If it's a good story about you, you got to get someone else to tell the story. You can't tell your own story.
So there was a place called Astrolite back in the days. It was an underage crowd thing.
Astrolite?
Astrolite for
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, it sounds like an all ages kind
All
of name.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and my crew would go to Astrolites on Friday night. We would dance. We do our fucking the dance. You know what I mean? We're doing our dance, getting all the girls. We're doing the dance. We're getting.
What year is
Yeah.
this?
Fuck, like
Don't fuck about me,
like
tell me.
1990 maybe.
Okay, so you're
80, like I was a little kid.
you're still
Yeah,
like,
we-
post-
Not even
just
maybe
after
the 80s,
Running Man.
80s, yeah.
What
We
was
were doing the
name
Running
then?
Man. So the Running
Yeah,
Man.
That's what I'm
we
saying,
used
it's
to-
kinda
Running
yeah.
Man dates. New Jack Swing.
I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to date
was just
myself,
gonna-
but
I
I
was just trying to
started
figure out-
real young.
We had maybe 3 weeks because we took it over from another white crew that was from Nepean. I can't remember their name, but we took it over from those guys because they were the dancers.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
came in with our crew because we had a flavor. So we had about 3 weeks of the girls, and then here comes George and his crew. So George and his crew come in, they're doing their fucking thing, and all of a sudden, backflips are fucking going on, bro. Head spins are coming up out. Bro.
So you're doing this, or
They're
George?
doing this.
George,
We were
were
laugh.
you participating in these activities?
Absolutely.
Did you have like a mesh tank top on as well?
Yo, not a
you have
mesh,
your
not a mesh, but the hammer pants. We got the thing. I was like, I probably had like a 15 waist, but I had a 36 pants.
Guys, you're rolling and being like, no, accurate. They couldn't even fucking drive. They're rolling
Yo.
accurate tactics and shit.
Yo,
We were
absolutely.
in a little
absolutely.
Corolla pack with 6 guys in a little fucking Corolla.
yo.
These guys are rolling in fucking accurate
Yo,
TLs and shit.
man.
At 14.
Yo, we were like again, not
And
having
you guys were the
everything,
same
not
age.
having everything, but
Yeah,
everything.
everything. Yeah.
The hustle was strong. The hustle was strong from back then. So there was a lot of, we all made our money the way we made our money. You know what I'm saying? You know how there's no, after a certain time, you can't get pinched for nothing, right? What do they call that? Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
So it's all
I
good.
don't know if there is a statute.
Oh shit! But
Loose lips ain't chips.
but right.
So do videotapes.
Yeah, right. So, but just to say, man, it was just such a great time, and it's just kind of, I was young as fuck. I remember I started at 11.
Oh,
and
you were
I was
11 back then?
Yeah, I wasn't. Well, maybe 11, maybe 13.
13,
By the time I met you, probably about
'cause I was
13.
I was about 16.
But at 11, I could remember, for us, it was all about NWA. We were in project housing. We enjoyed ourselves. I didn't know project housing, what it was. But I remember we're sitting down. There's about like 6 of us. And my brother, I just followed my brother. My brother's 2 years older than
I was
me.
just gonna ask. Was
I
your
just
brother part of the crew?
He was 2 years older than me. And then we had my older brother that was 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
But he never really hung around with us because he was with the the older cool kid.
He'd
You know
be
what I mean? He'd bring
like
us up.
18,
He'd bring me like they would come to the crib. They'd get the cardboard box and then do the artwork and then just go start breaking and doing the whole thing. That was Roro. So then I would sit there and watch them and just do my stupid little dance. But my brother Al, I followed that dude into all types of, he put me in all types of situations in trouble. Still today, there's a statute of limitations, I'm sure. But just to say,
He's a
I
funny
remember,
guy.
he's a funny guy. I remember when we're in a backyard, we're all writing raps. We're writing raps, all right? I didn't know what the fuck I was writing but it's all about NWA. Fuck, bitch, bink, pussy, dot, dot, dot. Anything you could, as much as you could swear, fill it on paper, and there's about six or 7 of us.
And stamp said
Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, NWA, everything, right? And then so we all have our shirts off, chilling in the summer in the backyard, and at my friend's house, Ricky. And then
Ricky?
Yeah, Ricky Burgess. So then all of a sudden, so we go inside, I don't know, to have a drink or a little drink, some juice, whatever, whatnot. And then all we hear, Ricky's dad comes into the backyard, and all we hear outside, is fucking bitch, pussy, fucking who's the one with the fucking and we're all running around. We all get fucking paro because it's kind of like, he's reading our raps and we're realizing, he's reading our raps and he's like, oh, who's the one with the big dick? Who's the one with the big dick? And again, I'm telling you, man, I was like 11, at least 11, and then my brother's like, 13. So these raps, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Nobody knew what the fuck they're talking about, but we loved it, you had to go at it. You know what I mean?
So what happened when Public Enemy popped off.
Oh, of course. That was a Black Power era. Our group went from one thing.
Also went from fuck pussy big dick smack
Absolute,
to intelligence.
Absolutely. Well, it went to Black Power. Did we know exactly what Black Power was? You know, I went about that age. I was about 12. That's when I got introduced to Dylan, you know, some other cats in the business. And then my brother said, yo, he could rap. So then a couple other characters, we can go to the characters, but like, yo, he could rap. So like, okay, rap for us. And then I did my little rap at 12. Okay, yo, ready? I still have it in my head. Yo, my name is Evil G. The master is me. Just call me the evil. Yo, just call me the G. Yo, it ain't Michael Jackson or Paul Revere. Yo, my name is the G, and everybody's in fear. Yeah. You have to have the echo. You have to have the echo. If you didn't have the echo, come on, man. I still remember that till the end of my days. So then I rapped that thing, and they're like, oh, he's cool. And then guess what? You know what I mean? Then a couple years later, then what happens? And then, you know, we start doing a little vinyl here. The whole the toe print, all these other things that are now infamous.
Which means nothing to me.
I know it means nothing to you, but like I'll say that.
This is the history.
No,
so why would you explain it? That's what I say. It means nothing to me. You should say, well, this is what it. It lends to the kind of the meeting of the minds and so on and so forth. So then after that, that's how me and Chad we actually met because we met in the hip hop scene.
I was in Dylan's band at that time. So Dylan was like the producer he produced a lot of music on the West Side.
Okay, so that's how you guys hooked up was through producing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, like in the scene, like we'd see the crew come down. He came from Canada, right? Canada boys, you know what I mean?
Where were you guys recording that?
We were actually recording that in Ottawa, in Barrhaven.
So
which is
Barrhaven
southwest.
Just the burbs. We go from Penny Drive to fucking butt-fuck Penny Drive, basically public housing, and then we go to the burbs because like
cross town or.
Back in the day, the white dude always had the equipment. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was.
Had a basement to put
he had a basement. He had the keyboard. He had the sound system. The whole shit. It was nice, man. It was nice. It was cool. It was fun. But that's how we met. We met in
So you remixed Tom Green's song.
Oh yeah, Tom Green. Oh, by the way, that's another thing.
No.
Tom Green, because like Tom Green, we actually toured with Tom Green. Black in Action. We go to little buttfuck towns, and it would be organized rhyme, Black in Action, ba 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 on the list. We fucking tour with those guys, man. Like in these little off towns. And that guy, Tom Green will never. I don't give a fuck where he is right now. Like he will always remember. I say Black in Action, and he'll fucking stand. I'll tell you right now. Like find him. Find him, say Black in Action, Mark Johnson, and he will have to fucking stand. He'll have to stand because we were there, they were there, and we had cover for them back in those days. We had cover for them because it was him and his boy Chad. Remember?
Greg.
Chad.
Greg. Not Mindorf. Mindorf was part of it.
Anyway,
but,
just to
Jordy,
say,
Greg
but it's good history.
He posted a little video on Instagram about how they recorded their first song in New York. A little trippy.
What they did with the Dream Warriors.
Oh, and we're on and if you don't remember, we were on his fucking cassette mixtape. We were on one of the first mixtapes. You still have it. Who has it?
I think I still.
I don't know. You might have a copy, but anyways, we're on the first fucking mixtape. Blah blah blah.
It was back when mixtapes were mixtapes.
Yeah, it was a tape with them. Absolutely.
Mixtape.
We were on it.
It was a mixtape.
We were on it. We were on his record.
We were on his record. Well, it was a marketing tool, but in a different way. It was a way to get your music heard. And get out
absolutely.
Instead of calling it an EP, it was an actual mixtape because you couldn't cut.
But we always made a little slice of history. You know, there was always a little slice of history. Like you know what I mean. So it's
you leave your print everywhere you go.
Absolutely,
so far so good.
Absolutely.
At what point did Chad become the sexy dancer and you guys?
No, I was done, bro. I was done. No, we can't even talk about it.
From that time,
was he trying to flex abs back then?
Man.
I had abs back then. I was 100. I was 6 foot.
It just came with it. It just came with it. You like it or not? It just there.
I was eating peanut butter sandwiches, man.
Yeah, man.
So then,
$1.20.
So if we fast forward, you moved to Toronto almost 30.
Would it be 30 fucking? No.
20 years. 20 and change. 20
So
years.
when year did you move to Toronto?
I can't remember the year. It's been 20 years. I literally just the milestone was like 2 years. The milestone was like 2 years ago because like in the sense of where I lived, where I lived longer.
Makes sense.
So Yeah, so like now it's just I've lived longer in Toronto than I've lived in Ottawa, which is fucking eerie, weird as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I'm to Ottawa to
Toronto's your home now, dude.
Yeah, that's
when you come in
crazy.
on a plane. This is when I finally realized it was actually my home. Was when coming back from Denver, and I was looking into Toronto as we're coming in, and I was just like,
yeah, man, yeah, man, fucking right, man.
That's when I realized I was like, yeah,
Fucking
it is home now. Took a couple of years, but
no, man. So I was the first to like. I was like, yo, the immigrant from Ottawa, first to land, because I know when I landed, it's just like we came from Niagara Falls. Again, I can't tell all the stories of Niagara Falls. Statute of limitations. What would a Haitian be doing in Niagara Falls? I'll let the people at home probably make the rest of the math. Haitian, Niagara Falls, Italians, Serbs, strip clubs.
oh, so you were a stripper?
Maybe. I'd rather say, at this point, I'd rather say that than anything else. You just saved my life.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Fuck, I'd
So
rather
you
say.
were slinging G-string.
I'd rather say that.
old school
If that's gonna
big energy
cover up my fucking Niagara Falls experiences, fucking, I was a stripper bucket. Yeah, I was a
History is
stripper.
history, son.
Yeah, you know. But so yeah, I had a great time in Niagara Falls. So moved from Ottawa to Niagara Falls to Toronto. I was the first
So
one
you
to
went
land in
back to
Toronto.
Niagara Falls.
No, I got from
Niagara Falls
No,
to Ottawa?
Toronto. No, Ottawa. Born in Ottawa. Left Ottawa, went to Niagara Falls, built up some shit there, then landed in Toronto.
Oh, so you went from Niagara Falls to Toronto.
Absolutely.
So you took your empire to the city.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
A lot of strip clubs to be slinging G-strings.
Hey, if that's what the story, you know what I mean? Let me put it out there, because we can't say nothing about nothing else that happened down there. But like, yo, we good. Yeah. We good now. We gave back to the city. We gave back to the Niagara Falls.
This retard in the city then.
Sorry,
hold on. That was politically incorrect.
No, you can say the word retard, I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't care. I think it's one of the lamest words in the world that you cannot say retard.
It's retarded.
It's retarded.
So basically,
It's retarded.
I moved to the city. I know Chad. You know, Chad had some magazines aspirations. He had these ideas and some crazy things. And you know, I know he approached me. Is that correct?
Yeah.
He's like, he wanted to put something together.
Did
And
you
I'm
move
like,
to Toronto and then hook up with him?
So he was trying to get me to move to Toronto for 2 years.
yeah, man.
But I was doing my thing in Ottawa, so I couldn't
I'm like a
leave the
fucking
situation.
like a pilgrim.
Get out of that
Like,
situation.
Yeah, I had to get out of the situation.
I was like a fucking pilgrim. I was like by myself, and I'm just like trying to get everybody to
Yeah, come,
and
it's
then
clear,
a whole bunch
coast
of
is
friends,
clear,
like,
come
yo,
on.
Oliver, Nick,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the crew, all the old crew from Ottawa saying, hey, it's good over
Anybody
here.
want to do something?
It's good over here. There's money. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then Chad took the fucking plunge. He came in. He's like, yo, this is what's good. This is what I want to do. And I'm just like, at this point, yo, I was fucking every software you could imagine. I knew how to manipulate it or do
You're
fuck
working
something
with
with
computers.
it. Working with computers, all that shit. I just didn't fucking know. I just didn't know how to make a magazine. I know Chad's like, yo, let's make a magazine, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I know how to do it. I'm a hustler. I know how to do just about fucking anything at this point. So I'm just like, we had some friends of ours. I'm like, when we started,
Holy shit.
when we start getting together and start fucking putting this together, of course, it's kind of like, yo, well, should we call the magazine? Blah, 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 blah. And then it's just kind of like, yo, I know Chad was reluctant, which is funny because I'm like, yo, Chad.
I find that hard to
Chad,
believe.
Chad was reluctant because we had a conversation because Chad's like, yo, no, my name, it's gonna be, and I'm like, nah,
Humble Ottawa.
yo, hey. And I'm like, nah, but the T, the story, the Africa, the T, the French spelling, because now this is Ottawa thing. The French spelling, Chad, you know, the French spellings with a T, it's silent, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely, because it's kind of like, yo, but at the same, if he said, just call it George, I would have been fuck. Especially in Toronto, all of a sudden, we're brand new to this, you know, calling it George. I would have, you know.
Oh, wait, there was a magazine already called George anyways.
That's true.
The
That's probably why. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably why.
Yeah, that's probably why. If I know you, you'll be like, 2 capital G's? 2 capital G's, I'm in.
You know? So it sounded right. It sounded cool. And it's just cool. And then it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Lifestyle on a coffee table book. You know what I mean? All these nice little taglines. It was easy and fresh.
So the magazine we're talking about is TCHAD.
Well, TCHAD, it was TCHAD magazine at that time, and then we changed, 2008, we changed the brand to TCHAD Quarterly, TQ.
Yeah, man.
Because actually some of the other magazines that had those titles, the Quarterly, they fell off.
Yeah.
They all
so you
died
grabbed
down
it.
as soon as that recession hit, so we grabbed onto that title because there's already
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we started actually out online, which was funny, right?
Yeah.
We started out as an online,
MySpace.
which didn't exist back then, but it just made sense because financially it's kind of was the best way to go.
Yeah.
We started with a calendar. Remember the calendar?
Yeah, holy shit.
Yo, I still have a copy for you. I got a copy for you, that fucking calendar. I still have a copy. Anyways, made this calendar.
That'd be beautiful.
Sexy gal them. We shot it in my crib. And yo, if you remember my crib at the time, I was always popping. My crib, I literally came into the city. I bought into the King and 700 King Street, King and Bathurst, where the McDonald's is. Around the corner. I bought a loft in there. Like I said, I was working. I've been working. I can't say all the things. Statutes of limitations, but I've been working. So then, Chad came over. We did this wicked calendar. Had sexy gal them come in from everywhere. Some workers. Some other workers, some square, some not, coming in and just showing off. And if you watch that photography that we did back in the day, if you saw, you could still look at it now and still current. It was still artistic, it was dope as fuck. And that basically lent itself to taking it to print. Kind of getting our kind of fucking rocks off in print. And then again, not knowing exactly how to put together a magazine, it's just kind of we had friends in my building. Funny enough, the creators of High Rise magazine. So
remember High Rise?
It's this high-end luxury magazine. It was dope. It was dope. And that were my neighbors. So it's just kind of I remember asking what do you use to fucking make a magazine? He's like, I use InDesign. Oh shit, let me go back and see if I got, because I have hacks. Adobe, I paid for all my software, by the way. But at the time I had hacks, so I had hacked everything. So it's kind of sorry guys. I had hacked everything. So then I'm like, I must have it in the package. So I go, oh fuck, I have InDesign on my computer already. Fuck it. Start laying down images. Chad's bringing in content. Blah, 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 blah. And back in the day, we shot shit. We actually shot shit. Yeah. We actually did real spreads and shit. Yeah. And then funny enough, our first issue was done. The joke is, I did the issue, in the crib, blah, 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 back and forth. I didn't even know how to fucking export it. I had to go back to the homies and say, okay, I'm done. And when the homie came, I forget his name.
Was it Ben or the blonde?
No, it was Ben. It was Ben. It was Ben.
Yeah.
Not the other, the blonde. Nick.
Damn.
Holy shit, yo. Some names, some fucking names.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know Nick?
You have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you got to know.
Great guy too. But anyways, so then Ben comes over, because I'm like, I tell him we're gonna make this magazine, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But he doesn't know fucking hustler. Hustler's a hustler. He doesn't understand, how is this dude gonna make a magazine and thing? So he leaves the house. A week later, I'm like, I'm done. Could you come help me export it? He's like, okay, comes home. He's like, what the fuck? So he's going through the pages and he's like, what the fuck is this? And I'm just like, yeah, bro, humble me. Because we always knew about fashion. Because by the way, we forgot a whole fucking piece, Limb Apparel, the clothing line, that actually
that was before.
That was before that actually put me on the map here in the city. Limb Apparel put me on the map. I had every fucking rapper. Every rapper, every house producer. I had Frankie Feliciano in fucking Limb Apparel. I had Kid Capri.
What's her face?
I had Jazzy Jeff. I had fucking
the local Sydney Blues on it.
Byron Stingley in my fucking apartment. Follow me, follow me.
Yo,
Byron Stingley in my fucking house, and I'm like, come up, because they would come and DJ across the street when they came into town. I'm like, come up in my crib. I got the gear. Come up. I saw Byron Stingley chilling in fucking Limb Apparel. Anyways, that's another story. But that laid the foundation on that corner on King Street, just to lay the foundation of just saying, okay, we have a bed. When you come in, you're coming in like Chad. You're coming in, we doing this. I got this. You know what I mean?
Working.
I connected with back in the day, God Style, fucking back in the day, fucking Melissa Austria, God Style. She put me in the shops. I was in these shops selling my t-shirts for $90 a fucking piece. Yep. You know what I mean? That started that foundation too. By the time we started making this magazine, it was just like, I knew everything about fucking fashion. I just didn't know how to fucking output a magazine. I never made one before. Chad never made one before. We were stylish as motherfucker. We were out in the streets, but it's kind of two niggas, pardon my French, two brothers.
Told you, no French on the show.
Yo, no French on the show. Yo, pardon my French. But two brothers in this fashion thing, the magazine's dope, but at this point, I'll tell you a little nugget. I don't even know if Chad remembers this, but when Ben, he comes, he looks at the magazine, he's like, okay, this is fucking crazy. Okay, you just thing, output, thing, check your spot UV, da-da-da-da, and then done. I'm like, shit, okay, cool. He's like, oh, fuck, okay. He was tripping. He's like, I don't know what happened. And then so he leaves. We output the magazine, great, but I was still scared. I was still waiting to hear the story. But I was scared as fuck because I'm like, yo, I don't know how this is gonna go. Yeah. We ended up doing a launch party across the street at the Bathurst. At the time, it was some fucking place across the street where it's called Love. It's called Love now.
Yeah. I remember what it was open for a short period of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we had a launch party there. But listen, as creative director or designer in the magazine, I never fucking put my I never put my name. What I did, I was so scared. I was the first issue.
Really?
I don't know if you remember this, but the first issue, what happened was, like, yo, George Benson is a fucking, is a wicked, yo, that's an art, like, yo, a wicked talented musician. Yeah. George Benson. Yeah. Yo, my father's first name is Rodriguez, Pamphile. So I'm like, Benson Rodriguez. Designer Benson Rodriguez.
Yeah. Nice.
We have a launch party. Yeah. Everybody's like, yo, this is fucking crazy, man. This fucking bag is... And I'm just like, yeah, man, yo, like, I did the layout. Good. And they're like, Benson Rodriguez. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Where's Benson?
Yo, where's Benson at? Where's Benson? We got to meet Benson. Yeah. I'm like... Because, yo, I was that fucking scared. And I'm not a scared dude. But it was like...
You're protecting your brand.
We're like, yo, this fucking... This magazine was so... But, like, we didn't know what it was supposed to be. We knew what it should look like. Yeah. But how are people receptive in the fashion industry? Not the fashion, the poo-poo, the fucking GG, blah, blah, blah. You know? Yeah. How is...
Non-existent.
Like, right? But, like... You know, what are they gonna fucking think? But all of a sudden, like, yo, that was like the fucking nucleus to the fucking, you know what I mean? Like that was like a template for everybody else because we were one of the first lifestyle magazines, and then everything started coming afterwards, and we started seeing pieces and chunks being taken from, and it's like, yo, flattery. You know what they say about, you know, what they call the flattery.
Did you guys ever work with dudes just down the street from Harris? Harris.
No, Peace.
Harris.
Harris would give us cut eye.
Harris.
I'm just keeping it real talk. So I know that he lived down the street from you.
Right.
Yeah. And that was just after kind of industry shut down and all the more commercial stores were where he was getting a lot of his advertising.
Right.
And his magazine was good at what it was.
Was it Peace or Pound? Peace. Was it Peace?
Okay. Peace.
Who's Pound? Oh, I remember Pound. The other Pound guys. Yeah, those good
guys.
But good guys.
I could see because he was doing that was more of like a cultural black magazine, right? With a lot of hip hop and like, you know, it was what it was. Yeah. And he used to come out to industry and Snap. That's how I met him through that years and years ago. But did you guys ever cross paths with that?
Many times.
Well,
we wouldn't talk though.
Everybody, we wouldn't talk so much.
You maybe talk to him more than me.
Well, you know what? Like again, at first, you know, like anything else, back in those days, it was like everyone's trying to hold on to something.
That's why I'm asking, right?
Everyone's trying to hold on to something.
Like.
Yeah, you know what? And it's one of those things that like he opened up just a little later, that's all. Because it's kind of like, yo, like anything else, he had something going, like everybody else had something going. But then all of a sudden, these two brothers come out of nowhere, styling, profiling the whole thing. And I had my brother's backing on the back end. I still can't tell you guys a thing. But like everything was just mad cool. And then all of a sudden these strangers come out and they're balling out of control and everything's all right. So of course, you know, a Harris, a Ting, I could name a million other people. Yeah. Yo, when we first saw this guy 100 pounds wet with Chad, you know what I mean? Like 6 foot, walking in the streets, then you get a little cut eye. Like, who was that? Who was that? And it's kind of like you have to figure out. And like any like
the opposite, you don't have to in Toronto.
No.
You make your role.
No. I'm saying we never had to figure out. It's just kind of like the people around. He had to figure out who the fuck we were because it's kind of like everybody else. Everyone's trying to feel out each other. Like, how much weapons do they got? Should I come at them? Should I say something? Should I not say something?
Thing, though, is that most, and this is probably because I was the same way.
Sure.
Is that I just came in and I started doing what we were doing and deal with it. But the Toronto, what I found over the years was the Toronto way was the opposite. People wanted to figure out how it could fit in and this and that instead of just going out and doing it.
Oh shit! Well, yeah, a hustler, hustler's mind is kind of like, you know what I mean? Learn on the bus. You know what I mean? It's kind of like looking at examples. Okay, this is what's going out. This is what's happening. This is what's popping. Okay, let's try.
Chink in the metal and you expose
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
You don't point it out to them and say you should touch that up.
Hey, absolutely. Listen,
that'll get you friends with them, but you're still not gonna get what you
absolutely. Listen, so hey, you know, first a cut eye, but then it's kind of like, yo, my brother, we ain't going nowhere, and that's everybody. I'm not even talking for him. It's just everybody. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't know how long the money is, or how short it is, how much time do we have, what's the bit of that. So then it's kind of like, yo, like everybody else started to warm up. Because it's kind of like, just warm up. Because you realize that, yo, I'm just a nice dude, but yo, I just got a lot of tricks. I could build anything or design anything. And like, it's just kind of like everybody was that one track. Everybody did one thing. I'm a producer, I produce. I'm a this guy, I'm a this. But it's kind of like when you had just multiple things, you just keep on dishing all types of...
You don't need to know. People don't know how deep you roll and talent.
Absolutely.
And you definitely don't advertise it.
Absolutely.
And you guys punched out TCHAD.
Yeah, man.
Right? And then you got it rolling. People fucking figured out what was going on, as you guys figured out what was going on.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely.
Is actually how it should be.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So at what point did you guys realize that it was rolling? And you needed to start seeking
It's a good
help?
question.
Did you guys seek help?
To the travels.
Travels. Yeah. I think once we started going to California and New York a lot, once we started connecting with...
So you started putting... Let me ask you this question before we jump to that quickly. As it turns into I'm the interviewer. What did you guys do with your magazine?
What did we do?
So you went out, you created a magazine, you exported it, you took it to the print press. Hold on, just quickly as an inside joke. How did it go the first time you went to a print press with your file?
Oh, fuck.
It was digital propaganda, bro. No, was it digital propaganda?
It was digital propaganda.
The first one or the first and second?
The first.
Well, they were running
first and second.
The digital propaganda, and then they switched the printer, right?
Yeah, they were only doing web. They were only doing web, and then I think they started to get into sheet fed, which
it was
which would have been around that time, I think.
Yeah,
because they had the full digital.
I don't know,
press.
Jamie.
We were. It was, I think, the first and maybe second issue.
Jamie would have been all smiles and Bobby would have been pulling out someone's hair trying to figure out.
Bob.
I remember you were complaining about the blacks.
I was, tell you the truth, I was always complaining about the blacks. It has to be sharp, it has to be tight. And again, I always had that ADD, man. Like, I had a tourist mentality. I just wanted the way I wanted. So Chad knew, like, yo, I was always about the no pixelation.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that Ben definitely, he came in and he just set it straight. This is what it should be.
So he helped you out immensely because your first trip to the printer
absolutely
normally is a fucking nightmare.
Absolutely. He set it up because he's like, okay, this is how you export. Just all the spot UVs, get rid of all the spot processes or whatever the fuck it was at the time. I can't look at I can't picture the files. But like, just made sure that this is how it has to be out. So he goes, oh, see this? Change this. See this color thing? Change that. So he set it up. So I was able to take it to the printer, and then I just use that as a template forevermore.
So that worked out well.
Absolutely.
So you guys printed these things off.
Absolutely.
Through your launch party.
Yeah, man.
And did you sell them in stores? Or did you give them away?
Well, not at first, right?
No, we give. Oh, that's right.
Not at first, because we started the chapters in to go a little later, and then because I know it was just bodega, dropping off at friends.
So strictly funded by advertising?
Yes.
Which how did you guys break even on your first issue?
Probably.
Yo, I don't even know, but I would say probably. The only reason why I could say probably is simply because it was Chad and George operation.
Yeah.
Like he brought the content in, I just put it together, all the connections, and you didn't need if I didn't do the photography, then a friend of ours did it. Everything was like bartering and trading and bartering,
That's
which was
great,
dope.
But money comes in its form of check or cash.
Absolutely. So then what was great was that any money that did come in, it was either it was a mix of. So it's kind of like the people we know we could draw from, we drew from. The people we know we could barter, we bartered from. At one point, it just became to a perfect mix of everything that you needed to go shopping with. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of like, still to that day, like at the time. So was the
plan to do a free one where people are advertising and that you're making money that way, or was the plan to always sell it?
I think we had Mercedes from the get-go.
Yeah, pretty much.
That and Rolex.
It was predominantly a black magazine.
No, not at all. That's the funny.
And
That's the funny. That's the funny.
that's the
thing about it.
funny thing. That's the
I'm
funny.
asking, right?
Yeah. No.
Yo,
Now,
let me
when
break.
you-
Can I break this down?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So because you're two young brothers out there shopping around, and I'm talking for the perspective of when you're selling the advertising, that's probably what these guys are thinking.
Nope.
No?
Let me tell you why. As a hustler, my mans, is everybody at home listening? As a hustler, you have to play the environment you're in and chameleon. And it's just like I've always been able to be anywhere where, and I'm using I as, you know, my job and what it was and in a position I wasn't at the time to be able to network and get this, you know what I mean? Chad said, this is what I want to do. I'm like, yeah, we'll do it. Because I know all I was able to use is what I had as resources.
Yeah.
So using those resources, right? So to get a membership at the Spoke Club, it was through my clothing, Limb Apparel. Here I am at the Spoke Club. Yo, you know, shout out to Pierre Jutras. You know, it's one of those things that these are my brothers. So it's one of those things that like I knew to be able to leverage certain things and on certain people. So like I didn't ever take my clothing line and bring it to a bodega store. I'm like, I'm gonna sell t-shirts. And it was at the time, it was like urban rap, the thing in that sense. But I also had house dudes. I also had like creatives. I had a mix. I had a mix of everybody.
Yeah.
I advertised in Vice magazine, but I was sold at God Style where the suits were. I always had the mentality to make sure that this brand is upper crust, even though it was t-shirts.
Guilty by association.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
so.
exactly
So when CHAD Magazine, yo, we liked finer things. We never maybe had all of the finer things, but we liked that look. We liked that style. We liked that fashion.
So who's the first one you got to leverage?
Mercedes.
Yeah, I think it was Mercedes. And we'd have to go
And you
back
get
to the actual issue, because there was a lot of great people.
Mercedes,
Was
Rolex,
that through
Fossil.
Spoke that you guys got that contact, or how'd you guys get that?
No, it wasn't through Spoke, but like
No, I'm just curious, right?
Yeah, it's in New York. It wasn't even Canadian.
so. Well,
okay.
to get quick, like really quick to the point. When you looked at the magazine itself, it was just high-end looks, design, art driven. So when you looked at it, you didn't see like a
No,
brother.
I've seen the magazine, and I didn't think, looking at it, I didn't think it was a black magazine.
So it's one of those. But
And
what's
I used to buy XXL, Ebony, or whatever.
yeah, absolutely.
there's quite a difference.
Used to buy Ebony magazine.
Well, I swear I didn't buy Ebony. I would look
Are
through
you
it.
flipping? You like black women?
Always.
My brother.
Hey, a beautiful woman's a beautiful woman. I don't care what.
And
color.
exactly, well said, because a beautiful
I don't.
a beautiful magazine is a beautiful magazine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like there is no connotation of color. It's just beautiful.
I'm a
And we
magazine
like-
junkie, so
Yeah, right. We like beautiful, and we like those we like those nice things. So it's kind of like when you saw it, you might not known that it was just like half. We had Asians, blacks, there's writers. All the content was brought by all types of mutts that we put together that might not have had a chance anywhere else. But we brought them in and brought that talent and brought that thing. So we were able to garner any type of advertising and so on and so forth. And we wrote on that because it's kind of like, yo, if I went to Mercedes, Chad and I walk up to a fucking room, went to Mercedes, two brothers, they would have been like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? The drinks are over there, guys. The cups and glasses are over there. You guys are here for the fucking garbage removal, right? And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, we brought that content to make sure that was our gateway to just open up, to chameleonize ourselves into any situation we wanted, because we didn't make a white magazine. Hells no. It was a fashion, well-designed from people who had a good acumen in that thing and brought it to the table.
Taste.
Let it speak for itself, right?
It's taste.
So by the time, before we had to make any introduction, it was already in the cafe room. It was already on the coffee table at that artistic, or it was already at DBPR, or it was already at fucking Cossette, sitting there on the coffee table. I don't even know what the fuck why. But then there it was, opening up the doors, and then let them call. I'm fucking Joe Bob. I love the magazine. And we put on the, yeah, Joe, right? Yeah, Bob.
How you doing?
Are you Italian right now?
How you doing there, right?
So it was
guys.
G. Gardner Chris.
I'm well aware of you always.
You
inserting
understand
your
now
G.
why.
That's why you notice I called you out since day one with that.
Yeah. G. Gardner.
Yeah. Anyway,
CC
but
Gardner.
just to say, so yeah, that like the magazine was always opened up those doors because they looked at it first and said, okay, you're welcome. Because like anything else, if a good hustler knows his environment, knows where he belongs, knows where he doesn't belong, and then fuck that where I don't belong. I'm gonna just insert myself. You might not even know it. And just like today, a lot of fast forwards, but it's just one of those things. I made sure that in my life, I could walk in through any fucking door, and most likely your daughter's children are wearing my stuff. You don't even know it. And that's the greatest thing, to be able to know that I could walk into every door, because the conversation will start and arise, and there'll be some sort of commonality in
that way. Yeah.
I love that way. I let the work speak for itself. I back up all the time. I might look like I'm in forward, but whatever I present myself forward, that's just the crust, like the entails of all the shit that goes on in the background where I have my hands in, right? Anyways.
So you guys bounced TCHAD into, what year did you guys run that, just printing wise?
2005 to 2015.
Yeah.
10 years.
So then you went digital, and then you're on a bit of a hiatus right now.
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, is it done?
Who wants to be in this industry any longer?
Yeah, man.
No,
The industry has.
I'm not gonna say, and you're done. He goes, well, no, it's on hiatus.
Well, no, I mean, the brand is still there on Instagram, but like, I remember George telling me this, is like, God, there's no integrity. Like, if you're in the same space as a blogger, we put all this fucking work over the years to build this for Toronto.
Yeah, man.
And now there's a blogger that's 22 telling you how it goes? That doesn't make any sense. So the integrity of the media industry, as you know, it's lost. It's lost its integrity. So what are we doing?
Yeah,
We're gonna build a beautiful magazine for what? So everybody can tell us that Lil Uzi Vert's the best rapper that we have in the magazine. You know what I mean? Or like,
What about
who's
Too Savage or whatever?
21 Savage?
There you go.
21 Savage. You know what though? 21 Savage is not actually that bad.
I'd hit you if you weren't too far away.
Listen.
Anyways, we can
Listen. I ain't shot in the street. No, but
Shots fired.
But again, but you're right. Fuck 21 Savage right now. Imagine.
No, I thought it was Too Savage, so there you go. I did. I'm Too Savage.
So that's exactly it. It's kind of like, you know what? Like anything, fucking flow like the water. Yeah. Flow like the water. It's just kind of like there's so much opportunity when fucking, I know, again, I speak for myself, when having certain disciplines in my back pocket, I always fucking knew that it's just like whatever new thing comes, I'm fucking Jay-Z with it. And I've always told Chad, I said like, yo, Chad, man, like, yo, this is the new waters and the new landscape is fucking vast. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna fucking fight. I ain't gonna be the one to fight it. I'm jumping right in, because it's kind of like with the acumen that I fucking have, it's just easier to get product out. It's just gonna streamline the whole situation of anything.
So you jumped from TCHAD.
Yeah.
You met up with a...
How did you meet Henry?
Henry at a trade show. I met him at a
trade show Henry.
Yeah, trade show Henry.
And you came up with a brand, so people know what we're talking about here.
Absolutely. Came up with a brand called Sully Wong. George Sully, Henry Wong. Sully Wong's the brand. And I met him at a trade show.
Trade show Henry.
He was with his sister. I like that. Trade show.
Yeah, give it a
like that shit. Trade show Henry. He'll take that shit. He'll take it.
You just make a brand out of it.
Clothing line tomorrow. You'll get a point in the mail. You'll get some points in the mail somewhere.
Connects.
Really short, met him at a trade show. He recognized the brand, the Limb stuff. And then, he just hailed me aside, said, yo, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I know the brand, blah, 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 blah. I do shoes, I can make shoes, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, bullshit.
Did he have a brand at the time?
No, he didn't have a brand. He was actually, again, statutes of limitations.
Okay, so...
so he was hustling and doing a lot of trade and a lot of trade business and imports and exports of all types of Florgens. Jordans.
Yeah,
with a Z. Jordans with a Z.
Yeah.
From where? From the sky. Who knows? Off the boat.
China?
Yo, he had a wicked operation. He was always doing his thing, and he's like, I could do this, and I'm just like, fuck bullshit, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, again, I always say he's never always known my side of how I felt at the time, because I knew that in those days, when somebody's asking you, they can make you a shoe. That didn't exist. That never happened. Nobody was making shoes. There was Nike, Reebok, fucking Adidas. Like kind of Coke, RC, and fucking Pepsi. Like 3 major brands, and that's it. So I'm like, when a foreigner just comes up to you and says like, yo, I know your brand. Give me your designs. I'll make you a shoe. I promise.
When he's what his business at the time is.
Yeah, listen. I met him at a trade show, and the trade show wasn't on a marquee somewhere.
That's
You know
what I'm saying.
It wasn't advertised.
Hey, wait a second, what were you doing at that trade show?
Hey, I was looking around, man. You know,
Looking to trade some business.
I was looking to trade too. I was looking to trade too.
Off the truck.
You know, so then
Trade show George.
So then after Trade Show George, Trade Show G, man, hey, Sully the Plug is another new name. So basically, long story short, or even shorter, he was calling me, yo, when are we gonna get together? When are we gonna do this? Blah, 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 for a while. I was just like holding off because mentally I'm like giving somebody, a stranger, a design. And at the time, Limb Apparel, yeah, I'm just trying to do my thing. We got the athletes world. You know what I'm saying? We got the athletes world. Shout out to my man's my man's. I won't even say the name. But to get me in there. But so we end up meeting up. Like finally, after a while, I'm like, yo, fuck it. You know, let me just take a SB silhouette. Let me just trace a Nike SB. Let me just trace it and give it. Because that's not my design. So if it disappears and they try to make $1 million off my fucking Limb Apparel thing, you're just gonna get a Nike SB design. But what I did with it, I just put the Limb across the side instead of the check. I put the Limb. LIMB, Limb Apparel, authentic street for all that is your extension. And basically that whole thing, when we're going to Winter Music Conference, I dug up all these posters and shit, my bro. From Vice magazine, my bro. Just saying. Anyways, my man's like, yo, Sully, get with it. So
I got it. I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'm like
flashing back myself.
Yo, man. Oh, I'll send you a fucking poster, man. Winter Music Conference, I'm telling you. Yeah. Anyways, and then so I'm like, here it is, and I'm like, forget about it. Here you go. If nothing happens, nothing happens. I don't lose anything. A month comes back. Fucking boop, little pop-up email. I look at the email and fuck, there it is. The 2D drawing into a real sneaker with the limb across the fucking side of it. And then I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you know what? Again, the way my mind thinks, I'm like, already people have been jacking our fucking styles, jacking our t-shirts, jacking our shit. Every time we do something, sorry, bro, keep on hitting the table. Every time we did something, another group or another crew, a crew of the week, a t-shirt brand of the week would copy our shit and roll with it. Cause I was the only game in town, like, yo, Toronto, man. Where you at, man? Find me, man. Come at me, bruh. Don't come at me. Don't come at me. Don't come at me. Gang sign. I'm seeing my gang sign right now. I'm throwing it around.
King West gang.
Yeah, King West. So then, when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? Yo, I knew, again, as the fucking hustle king, I'm like, fuck that, fuck clothing. Because I'm like, nobody will catch me. Nobody. Shoes? Nobody was doing shoes at the time. Yeah. This is many moons ago.
Not in Canada.
Fucking 10 years ago.
Maybe Bathing Ape. Was Bathing Ape by that time?
Not even.
Yeah,
not yet. They were not even
no,
yet.
Bathing Ape was there yet.
They weren't even there yet. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, my man's a plug. He's a solid plug. My man's going around saying, yo, I can make you shoes. In my head, I'm like, yo, does he go on to everybody say I can make you shoes? I got to shut this shit down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, with my acumen, I'm like, yo, man, turn over back to the same computer that built everything else. Yo, Sully Wang. Yeah, that's dope. Look, I already had everything done. Yo, my man, I already had everything done. I called my man over. I'm like, yo, why don't you come over? Let's talk about it. You know, we got to talk about it. Because in my head, I got to lock this dude down. Yep. Yo, my man, shout out to Henry Wong. I'm like, I gotta lock this guy down. Because I'm like, I can't have him going around the city opening up a new channel of the world. Yeah. He opened up the fucking world order he's opening up. I show him, I'm like, yo, bro, so like, yo, you know I'm Limb Apparel, you know I got this, you know what I mean? Like at the time, like again, my crib was outstanding. Like, yo, I customized everything. Like, yo, I was like, back in the day, 19, 20, maybe 20, no, what was it, 24, 23? Anyways, I had a Miele dishwasher, son. Silent, bruh. And I remember the guy told me, he's like, yo, this is the best dishwasher in the thing. I'm like, yeah, I want it. I didn't know what the fuck it was. And then I got like a custom kitchen to go with it, like stainless steel, the whole thing. I got pictures of everything. Anyways, I catalog everything. So then he comes into my crib and he's just like, yo, Sully's doing his thing. At the time, I'm just like, I'm doing really well. And then I'm like, yo, bro, what do you think of this? Sully Wang. He's like, huh? What? Like, what? I'm like, yo, me and you, Sully Wong, we're making sneakers, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, he wasn't fucking doing anything crazy. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, like,
That was invested interest.
Exactly. Lock him down, shut the phone. Anybody who asks you about sneakers, refer back to Sully, and you're gonna get a fucking, a hang up, you know what I mean, right quick. Shut that shit down. Ever since, and then after the clothing, we did a couple of shoes for Limb Apparel, just testers, and like, our first rounds. I still have some. I still have some of our first sneakers ever. And
you gotta keep those.
Of course, I have them all archived. And then I was just saying like, I just shut down it was so easy to change clothes and go. I'm like, yo, Limb Apparel, peace out, man. Peace out. We're sneakers now, man. Nobody will catch us. And up until today, 2018, to all the brothers making shoes, or at least attempting to make shoes, or did a little dabble on Alibaba, a crash and burn on Alibaba. Shots out to everybody. But still till today, there's me and maybe 3 other guys that have just broken the thing. Maybe. I don't know. I will just say at this point, it's kind of like it's a blessing being in business, because shoes is the hardest and the most difficult and the most expensive acumen of all the fashion genres. T-shirts are good. Clothing is good. Cut and sew is great.
Cut and sew works out.
And it's one of those things, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like, still till today, it's very fucking hard to do. That's all. That's all I'll say about it. It's just very hard to do, and it's kind of like...
You got the main line.
Absolutely.
So how long does
shout
it
out
take you to
Henry.
flip a prototype?
Now...
If you really wanted to push it, say, we're like, dude, we just talked to... Joe Rogan, he wants a shoe for the next
Joe
UFC.
Rogan wants a shoe for his Rogan thing. If Joe Rogan wanted a shoe, it basically takes 90 days. It takes 2 weeks for the first drawings.
For you to sample back.
After the approvals of after we sit down. No, y'all's want a shoe for the podcast, right?
Yeah.
City podcast sneaker. We go over the designs, what's gonna be done, blah 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 blah, and then 2 weeks after we sign. 2 weeks after, slow down, deposit. Need a deposit first.
Oh, now we're
always a
paying
deposit.
First how the fuck did you go from me trying to exploit how fast you guys are going?
Before I leave, I'm gonna need the deposit. I'm gonna leave a deposit. So 2 weeks.
Covering the deposit.
So 2 weeks and so on and so forth. Like after 2 weeks, you get your samples and blah blah blah.
Okay,
and
so it's a pretty quick turnaround.
It's quick. It's 90 days.
So that
and a month of that is shipping.
Yeah, I was gonna say that in its own right is a reason to lock them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've had enough because of that quick turnaround,
and
the hands-on you've got on the other end. You've been able to work with sponsors and do some limited runs with some.
We have.
So who have you guys worked with?
One
Ford Canada.
One by one, not Ford Canada yet, but it's one of those things that it's always a corporate company will always see somebody else do it first, and then all of a sudden, then they'll want to jump in. They line up, and
did you do Heineken?
We haven't done Heineken, but we did Ciroc.
That's what I was talking about.
Absolutely. And Ciroc was fantastic because it's like, absolutely. It's just a beautiful thing.
How that circle came around, eh?
What's that?
How that circle came around.
Oh, it went full circle. If you type Ciroc, we come up. I just made sure I triangulated it to make sure that it stuck to him like an old cousin. You know what I mean? Like absolutely. And we beat the shit out of that.
If you go back, remember meeting him for Limb Apparel.
Oh, true.
In New York.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah. For Limb Apparel, we had a meeting at the time.
Bank of America's?
Sean John. Blue Film. No, Blue
Market.
Yeah,
Blue Flame.
Blue Flame.
Yeah.
Blue Flame Marketing was his first marketing firm ever. And the first meeting for Limb Apparel, and again, pictures, you know what I mean? Wasn't it me, you, Lennon? Were you there?
Me, you, Lennon.
Me, Lennon, Al.
Yeah.
I think Al was there. Yeah. And dude, we still have shots for the bad boy sign. Yeah. And then like
what year would that have been?
Oh
no,
man.
Younger than that.
Oh, younger than that.
2006.
So he was still popping off.
Yeah, he was
bad boy.
Bad boy.
Yeah, he had the build like he was bad boy.
Sean John, man.
That's when the TV shows and everything were popping off.
Yeah. Funny enough, because he was in the same boardroom that had the meeting. He was on his show on the whatever How to Make a Band or whatever it was at the time. He was using that same office still and the same boardroom with the same TV in the background where I took pictures and things. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, it was just dope. Like, and again, it's those little things, those little nuggets that you don't talk about now, but it's just those are the building blocks to like everything else, some foundation to something leads to something. Absolutely, always, and always full circle because when sitting down with the executives for Ciroc, it's having those conversations to make them feel comfortable. Like, yo, this is not my first time fucking here. Let's get down to the business. Yeah, deposit. Conversations. Yeah. Like, I'm not starstruck with nobody in this room. Check. You know?
Give it to Chad.
Yeah, that's it.
Dad's like, I'll take it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
and the chat.
Yeah, hey, you're right.
That's class.
So it's cool, man. It's cool because one thing lends to the other, and collaboration. We did Nobis, One by One. We did some sneakers with Vitali, which was a really dope series, and now they're making shoes on their own, which is fantastic. It's just dope to just be part of the nucleus of a lot of really cool things and just be part of a fabric of a lot of cool things.
I would say what's next, but I kind of already know.
What has been in the past year?
Let me say this. Let me say this now.
Hold on, before you jump.
Absolutely.
You work with Vitality. They're also doing their own shoes on their own right now.
Absolutely.
But they also were doing some stuff with you, like some bags or clothing.
The backpacks as well. Absolutely.
So you guys you guys work together, right?
Well, absolutely. Like, they came to us, Shane, shout out to Shane. Much love. I just sent him a couple of texts. He's traveling the world now. This is my man's. And he reached out to us, said they want to make some collaboration sneakers, and it's just mad dope. It's kind of like, hells yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yo, brothers, you know what I mean? And only reason why I'm not wearing, I'm not wearing any Vitali right now. But it was just mad cool. It was their start into the shoe game. And you know what? And now it's kind of like to see them just that growth and to see them just do their thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? It's love. And I was gonna say, we can't talk about what I'm gonna say, but I'll just say, if you wanna know what we did for Star Trek, go to GeorgeSully.com. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't talk about it because CBS.
Too
late. Kate Alexander talked about it.
Yeah.
Kate.
Oh, on your thing? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we'll leave it there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
What refer back to the Kate Alexander podcast.
Yeah, refer back to the Kate Alexander. Like, I love that girl to the death. So absolutely, and I'll leave it at that because our relationship is just like, yo, we only have online, and like, yo, if not, CBS will come for us in the night, man. Yeah. So, but just know that like our collaborations and absolutely, our collaborations and our things stretch from that type of level to just beginning. If you come at us and it's like, yo, if you have your money right and you know what you're getting into.
What's the minimum run?
Minimum for men right now is 120 units.
That's it.
You
got more friends you give away to than that.
But that's our sell to celebrities who want to come in and out for the weekend. What it costs you at the club?
House party or something special.
What it costs you at the club when you're tip drilling on the weekend, you could put it into a round of shoes for another weekend for a launch of something, and then you're in and out. We like to make sure you're in and out. Again, the cost is a lot more than your regular minimum of 5,000 units. Yeah. But at 120, there's still a premium price, but you're getting 120 of a premium sneaker, leather, you can do microfiber, whatever fabrics and whatever you want. But anyways,
you get Boost put on the bottom?
Yeah, you can get anything you want. or no, you can't.
So you got all the men outfitted. Do you guys veer off into women's sneakers as well?
Absolutely.
Or is it unisex?
We started, and a lot of the times it is unisex. Like now it's unisex, and we're into women's.
The market went that way too. It's
absolutely.
Not like someone decided we got to make women's sneakers only. They're like, no, it's veering back to just unisex. Women are loving.
Absolutely.
And guys are wearing pink, which is now called blush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. Salmon.
Yeah.
Salmon's something my grandfather wore. Now it's
salmon.
So a woman shows up at your house and she's like, "Oh, I like all your sneakers, but I'm into I want to dress up and go out."
Okay. Well, we have a little something for that. that woman who's not at my house because my shorty's at my house.
Oh,
so
shit.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Trying to lay the trap on.
How late was this call?
So,
What are you doing out of my crib at 1 a.m.? First thing, fucking high heels. What the fuck? No, absolutely. There is a solution to that. We just started getting into high heels. You know, inject Hyla. It's my shorty. And, you know, she
What's
was
it called?
House of Hyla.
Hyla. I spell Hyla. H-I-L.
H-A-Y-L-A.
Oh, okay. It's not.
So it's spelled Hala, but it's Hyla pronounced. Like Hyla. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So it was very important that we get into a zone where, like you said, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of
a
like
girl wants to be in fashion, but she's got to step out sometimes. Right?
Absolutely. Well said. Well said.
And
So
you guys are a lifestyle mentality. That's your background.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Just filling in the holes. Filling in the holes is kind of like, and in this particular case, this collection was special because we know that who needs another anything in the market where heels are concerned? Nobody needs it. Nobody wants it. There's a million things, but this particular thing was, it's monochromatic and it's been done on a small scale. So we're not the first ones in the world ever in the fucking bajillion of the world to do it, but on this scale and the amount of colors, we are the unique brand that's coming out with a monochromatic high heel.
And it's accessible.
And it's accessible and it's
price
affordable.
point is reasonable.
Yes, it's reasonable so that you can get in.
Such a good word, reasonable.
Reasonable, fair priced, You know what
But
I
I
mean?
do have a pitch for you guys.
Yes, you do it.
First time you're ever going to hear it.
I wanna hear
Points
it.
on it.
Of course,
So
always.
if I'm a
You're
girl,
pitching George, you're not pitching me.
No. This is the first for everyone. So if I'm a lady getting ready to go out in the night,
Yeah.
one of the first things that I do before I go out is what do? All right, I'll tell you. I'm gonna go get my nails did.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
And most women that I know like to have matching things, especially for a unique outfit.
Absolutely.
So if I got my new Hyla
Yep.
shoes, I can always bring them with me to the salon and she could try and match them. But you know what? It's such a nightmare trying to match these unique colors for such a reasonably priced heel.
Absolutely.
But
This is good.
I can offer you
Yeah.
nail polish that will match your shoes.
Yeah.
I'm writing
And
it down.
each shoe,
Everybody at home, I'm writing
each
this
shoe
shit
has
down.
got its own individual
Yeah.
color that you guys are making up on your own. So you can customize the nail and offer it with it. Maybe like, buy 2 pairs, get 1 or 2 free.
And lipstick.
Okay, now we're getting into something that we've been talking to a brand.
Yes.
Flawless by Friday. Shout out to Flawless by Friday because they're in
So-
cosmetics. So I'm gonna have to give you half a point. Half a point.
Three-quarters is a point is comfortable.
Yeah.
Because
But it's absolutely, it's about color, and you're 100% right. It's made to match. Everything's made to match, and
so
it's
the whole
kind of
point really is that you're proving that you're custom across the board, and you're not just getting like any old shoe that was made last season. These things
man.
are turning around ridiculously fast.
Yeah, man.
So if
man.
a new color pops off, boom! Within a month, you got them in the store.
See, that's
With matching nail
see,
polish.
see, you know what? But see, that's exactly right. And it's kind of having the factory background and having the quickness to get to market. And that's everything because we are small operations on the larger scale. But like,
Which is the benefit
which is the benefit because we're speedboats.
Yeah.
We can stick and move really
Cigar
fast
boats.
and change cigar boats.
without
we
the
can,
cocaine.
without the cocaine. Without the cocaine, everybody
That was a
at home.
Miami Vice reference.
Yo, statute of limitations. It's all
Yeah,
good. It's all good. It's all good. So absolutely. So basically, yeah. No.
Just
so
say,
it's fast.
just say
No,
Steve, you win.
yeah, you win.
There we go.
You win.
All
You
right.
get all the points. You get all the points. But like, yeah,
Tell your
it's
girl
dope. It's
that's-
dope. It's
That's
dope.
her wedding present from me.
Done. All right.
Wedding
all right.
present.
All right. Like, yo,
You're throwing them in there.
the-
Wedding.
Okay,
What?
so let's get. Okay, so you want to get into it? Let's get into it. No. But
No, but I wanted to make sure for the hour that we had that we got to what I thought was the most
The crux.
impressive, right? Because
There's a lot more. There's a lot.
Way more.
there's lots of stories in there, but when you have someone who's lived such a lived
Yeah,
life,
man. Yeah, man.
not just
Yeah, man.
showed up,
Mm.
I think to the point where you were trying to like get across over and over
Yeah,
again
man.
is that you built your way up
Yeah,
to
man.
get to where you are now.
Absolutely.
If you hadn't had any of
Well
those
said.
other experiences, you
Absolutely.
wouldn't have the confidence. More important, it doesn't
Amen.
matter what you're doing, it's the obstacles you run into, you learn how to handle them. You don't
Amen.
freak out now.
Yeah.
You set it off to the side, you
Yes.
deal with that. when I'm mentally ready to deal with it, rather than just popping off or firing off. You cocksucker. Oh, fuck. You're making shit elsewhere. You know what I mean? You're like, wait a second.
Should I send this email?
No. You know, we're all growing.
No, but
which is awesome.
But see, that's exactly it. That's 100%. We're all growing. This is all family. And it's one of those things that I'll always say, we do what we do. We do what we do. Yeah. And you know what? Like whatever brand or who is coming out with what is kind of like, if you're a fan of that, then you're gonna be a soldier of that. And because of the social network, it's kind of like you have millionaires that you'll never hear of because they're not advertising to anywhere else but their network. So it's kind of like I can't be bothered or with somebody else beside me when I'm trying to. I need to manifest my own network.
Yeah, just do you.
If I'm complaining about somebody else, that means I don't have my own network locked down.
Or you're not. You're spending all your energy on what you should be.
Absolutely. So, you know, in the end, it's kind of like, this is what I love because as the hustle of the hustle, I always sit back and say, the more new, the better for me because the better I can express myself. Because at this point, I don't have to try to do something. I organize and say, I want to do it. Have your financing, have your factories, have your logistics, and have all these things in place to just make it happen. So then we just make it happen, right? So then
30.
Hey, absolutely.
Start using words like make it happen.
Hey, you know, so
then
and
more
it's
solutions,
cool.
not more problems.
Hey, absolutely. I'm all there. I'm all there. And it's just like, I love new brands. I love they knock on our door, they come at us, and I'll collaborate. I've always been a collaborative effort. One of the first collaborative efforts, Chad and I, you know what I mean, for the magazine. And Limb Apparel was myself. There was really no collaboration with anybody. I was just an idea. But then the first collaboration was really TCHAD Quarterly. And then after TCHAD Quarterly, Sully Wong. And then our brand, we've always marketed as a collaborative brand. So we've always collaborated with everybody. So we never had competition. Exactly.
More important. The more tongues you're on.
We were collaborating before the word collaborating was cool.
Now it's cool? When did that happen?
Oh, I don't know. They taught the kids.
Did it come when Fam came in?
Oh, maybe. Maybe Fam. I don't know, Fam. I don't know.
All right, so we made it.
Yeah, we did. We did it. Holy shit.
We made almost an hour, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
No less, because we started
5 minutes in.
That's all right. So it's all good.
Oh, wow.
What's .coms? Where can everybody pick up the goods at?
What's your
man.
socials?
Social.
Oh, social. Okay, so
Fuck the .com.
You're talking
Fucking
you're back in
social
days.
at Sully Wong Premium. That's Instagram, Sully Wong Premium. My Instagram is real George Sully. There's other George Sullys, if you could imagine that. That's crazy.
I couldn't even. The real one?
No, they ain't the real one. This is the real one. They'll find out when they see the numbers, you know? Hey, yeah. So
cat ball.
and at House of Hyla for the heels. And I have a couple other brands. We won't forget that for now. Those are still on the wraps. And then we have, what's the other one I could say? Yeah, that's it. That's what it is for now, and just keep up for the updates, man. Because if a
lot of them. I know this.
Yeah. Well, basically, you know, you're probably rocking something of mine. You don't even know it. Like it's either a collaboration of somebody, or I have my hand in the factory or the making of it, or the funding of it, or. So I love that. Even in movies, we're talking about movies earlier. Right now, I'm in the movie game right now. Y'all don't know what's up, man. I'm doing my Charlemagne. You think I'm just on the radio, but then you see all this production credits. And my production credits, my executive producer credits are starting to arise. They're starting to get in the thing. Starting to tally up. So those are things that we'll come back and we'll talk about it, man.
Sounds good to
real.
me.
That's
all
real.
right, well, thanks for the fucking warning.
What a pleasure, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
My brothers.
That was awesome.
We're sorry that Peaches couldn't be here for this podcast.
Where is she at? She's sleeping?
She's sleeping.
That's good. Had a busy day.
Well, the socials, you know all the socials. I don't know.
Yeah, so you guys know we're at the City Podcast on all levels, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Do you even use Twitter for that?
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you tweeted out something?
Just
you found your toenail brush?
Today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You just typed out fam.
Check this fams. Fams them.
My name's Steve Mealing.
Yeah,
How's it going, Ozer?
How's it going, Ozer, everybody? And my name is Chad Gardner Cranston.
I think we're going to try and
Chad
flip between these two idiots.
Yeah.
See if we can find some of their early recordings and pop them up
after
this podcast.
Which one?
So give it like a couple seconds.
Wise?
Yeah.
I got them.
All right, we're gonna throw them on the podcast.
I got a few.
Yeah, you got yours.
Knowing Chad, he'll jump in at his
I got
version.
some on
This is me coming. This is me.
Yeah. You hear my voice. You know it's me.
Thanks for giving us the time to get in your ear.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Bless out, guys, and thanks for the comments. We'll talk to you later.
Keep breathing.
Peace.